Hello. Today I will be going over the Verizon AP payment term changes process. It is very important that we keep our vendors' payment terms up to contractual agreements, as we will be in breach of contract, which is never a good thing. We have many ways requests come in to our mailbox. Vendors can send a request in, purchasing can send requests in, our sourcing group can send requests in. Just about anybody can send a request in. Whether it's actually approved or not is a completely different story. If Verizon payment terms are a net 90, we are a net 90 company. If you want to be a supplier, you will be paid at net 90, which means net 90 means if you have an invoice date of January 1, you'll be paid 90 days after January 1 once the invoice is fully received, which is your goods receipt, your invoice receipt, and a GR, which is a goods receipt. You will then, there's basically the process is all the same. You will have they send a contract to our mailbox. We take the contract and we review the contract to see if there's anything, if it's expired or anything like that. If we cannot tell if it's expired, or even if we need to validate contracts, because we don't just because you have a contract doesn't mean it's the most current, doesn't mean it's still valid, or there's many reasons, but we like to make sure, because our group is not contract specialists. We're not. So we will get a contract. We'd kind of do a little review over it. We'll pull out a few pages in it. Basically, the pages that we're really looking for are the name of the supplier, and that they are doing the contract is with us. We're looking for the term of the contract, so when it's actually the contract began, and if it has an end, or if it's evergreen, which means it continues on year after year. We'll also look for the scope of the contract, which is what kind of work is being done. Is it construction? Is it telecommunication work? Is it anything like that? And then we also look for the payment terms that are in the billing section, which is, are we paying you at some companies are, Verizon is net 90, but there are some government regulations on, net 30. Telecommunications, we do immediate, but there's different regulations on different things. So the contract may not always say net 90. So we have to go through and kind of find out what the contract says. And then we also need a signature page, which is both parties have agreed on these terms. We will then take that contract and send it over to our sourcing group. Our sourcing group will look through we have a system of our contracts, and they'll see if the supplier or supplier name has any other contracts. If they do not, they'll let us know, say, hey, this is the most current agreement, this is the correct payment terms, and if there are other agreements, they'll let us know there are other agreements, and they'll also let us know if there's other conflicting payment terms. If all is well and there are no other conflicting payment terms and the contract is valid, we will then send it over to our vendor maintenance team. Our vendor maintenance team will update the vendor record. Then the vendor record will be, they will let us know when it's been completed, and we'll reach out to the requester and say, hey, this has been completed. All your invoices should now be paid at those new payment terms. If sourcing comes back with, this is not valid, then we'll let the requester know that the contract is not valid. Or if, there's multiple payment terms, then we have to look at figuring out how we can accommodate that in our systems. Whether it's, adding a new payment location, or sometimes creating a whole new vendor record. It just all depends on the time and what system it's in. And once it's all complete, we'll let the requester know that, hey, we've done this, and if you have any other questions, to let us know. We get a lot of these, probably 100 or 200 a week, especially when we're doing big projects, so we stay quite busy. It's very important to keep those contract agreements, because you don't want to lose your relationship with your vendors. Your vendors will quit trying to do business with you because you're not paying them at their contractual terms, and it's just, they don't like that. They have bills to pay as well, so if you're not paying them in a timely manner, then they can't pay their bills in a timely manner, and then that puts them in a bind. They can't pay their employees, they can't keep their lights on. So that's why it's very important to make sure we meet our contractual agreements. That is all. Have a good day. Thanks.